everyone, and welcome to Kiki Crochet. In this video tutorial we're going to learn how to crochet step by step this beautiful spring top, which also can be worn on the chilly summer nights. I used a total of 4 skeins of size number 2 yarn. The total width is 55 centimeters and the total length starting from the top to the bottoms is a total of 62 centimeters. This top is made in 4 pieces which we join together, and then we join down here on the sleeves so it kind of fits like a poncho. And once you finish crocheting, joining the 4 pieces, this top is a crop top. Okay, now if you're thin and you can wear it as a crop top, you can leave it as it is, but because I'm a little chubbier and I can wear a crop top, we're going to see how to work a few rows after the joining so we can make it a longer shirt. Okay, so now let's see the material that I'm going to use and how to start. The yarn that I'm going to use is a size 3 yarn. It's 55% cotton, 45% acrylic, and it's suitable for all seasons. And I'm going to crochet with a 4mm crochet hook. Now before we start, because I don't have a chart for this video, we need to know which measurements we need from our body so we can crochet our top. Okay, so what I'm going to need is I want to take the circumference of the widest part of the top of my body. Okay, my widest part is my chest, which is 110 centimeters. Okay, and I need to know my arm opening. Okay, so you're going to measure from the top of your shoulder up to under your arm, and my arm opening is about 22 to 23 centimeters. Now what we're going to do in order to create our top is we're going to create two shawls, and then 2 granny squares. So the 2 shawls, I'm going to crochet 2 triangles. Okay, and what I need to do, I'm going to begin with the triangles. Right here I have my chest circumference. I'm going to divide it by 2, and I'm going to get as a result 55 centimeters. This means that when I finish crocheting my triangle, the short part, the widest part from the corner to corner is going to be 55 centimeters. Okay, so I'm going to need 2 triangles which are going to measure 55 centimeters wide, and then I'm going to crochet a granny square when I place the square up here on the triangle, the square is going to start from the top and reach up until the end of the triangle, and I need about 2 extra rows to be left out from the triangle. Okay, so I don't want my triangle, my granny square, to fit exactly. I want it to fit the whole side and about 2 rows to be left over down here. And since you're crocheting for the width of your body, this means that when you crochet your granny square, when you fold it in half, because we're going to sew the half part on the front and the other part on the back, we're going to fold our granny square in half. This means that when my square is in half, right here, from here to here, it's going to be the sleeve, and it should measure your arm opening. Okay, it should be about the measurement that you need. If it's not the measurement that you need, you can crochet about an extra 1 or 2 rows up until you reach the total arm opening that you need. Okay, so we're going to crochet 2 triangles and 2 granny squares. Let's start. Okay, I'm going to start with a magic circle. If you do not know how to start with a magic circle, you can chain 4 and slip stitch in the first chain to create a ring, and whatever I'm going to crochet in the center of my magic circle, you're going to create in the center of your ring. So in order to start my magic circle, I'm going to take the yarn and wrap it around once around my 2 fingers and bring it on the top left. Okay, now put your hook under the right yarn and over the left one, grab it and bring it over. Now turn your hook around once to create a loop, grab the left yarn and pull it through the loop. So I've created my magic circle, and at the same time I've created my first chain. Okay, so I need a total of 4 chains to start. I've created my first one, 2, 3, 4. Now these 4 chains count as my first double crochet, the first 3 chains, and the last chain is my chain 1 space. So yarn over once and work 3 double crochet in the center of your magic circle. 1, 2, and 3. Now chain 2, 1, 2, and work 3 more double crochet in the center of your magic circle. 1, 2, and 3. Now finish the row the same way you started. I'm going to chain 1 and work 1 last double crochet in the center of my magic circle. Now grab the yarn that you started your circle with and pull it tight. And see how a shawl has started to create? Now right here in the chain 2 space that I worked, this right here is always going to be the center corner of my shawl. So now I'm going to start row number 2, and the way that I'm going to start and finish row number 2, this is the same way that we're going to be working every single row. So I'm always starting by chaining 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. Now these 4 chains count the first 3 as your first double crochet, and the last chain, the 4th one, is your chain 1 space. Now put your hook under the chain 1 space and work 1 double crochet. Now work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1 next stitch, 2 next one, 3. Now I have reached the center of my shawl, the chain 2 space. Now every time under the chain 2 space, we're going to be working 2 double crochet, 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2, and 2 more double crochet under the same chain 2 space. 1 and 2. So every time in every chain 2 space in every row, we're going to be crocheting 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet. Now continue working downwards, and I'm going to work 1 double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1 next stitch, 2 next one, 3. Now right here in the end, I have my 1 double crochet and my chain 1. The double crochet is a chain 3, and the last chain, the 4th one, is my chain 1 space. So put your hook under the chain 1 space and work 1 double crochet. And counting from the bottom to the top, put your hook in the 3rd chain. 1, 2, 3. Put your hook in the 3rd chain and work your last double crochet for the row. Okay, so this is how our shawl looks like at this point. Now we're going to start row number 3. Again, chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. Again, the first 3 chains are my first double crochet, and the 4th chain is my chain 1 space. Now put your hook under the chain 1 space over here and work 1 double crochet. Now work 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches. 1, next stitch, 2, next one, 3, next one, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so I've worked 1 double crochet in every stitch. Now again I reached my chain 2 space, so put your hook under the chain 2 space and work 2 double crochet, 1, 2, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet under the same chain 2 space, 1 and 2. Now work 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches up until you reach the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I had 6 stitches going upwards before the increase. After the increase I have 6 stitches going downwards, so we need to have the same amount of stitches, and I'm going to finish my row by working 1 double crochet under the chain 1 space, chain 1, and counting from the bottom to the top, put your hook in the 3rd chain, 1, 2, and 3 right over here, and work your last double crochet. Okay, so this is how our triangle looks like at this point. Okay, so keep working the same exact stitches. So you would crochet 4 now, double crochet under the first chain 1 space, 1 double crochet in each of the next stitches. Under the chain 2 space, work 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in each of the next stitches going downwards. Now under the chain 1 space here in the end, work 1 double crochet, and counting from the bottom to the top, 1, 2, 3. In this chain you're going to work your last double crochet. So once I finish working my triangle, I'm going to turn my video back on. I've completed crocheting my triangle. This is how it looks from the one side to the other, okay, and from the bottom to the top. Now when I measure from the one side to the other, I need to have my 55 centimeters as I calculated in the beginning. So since I've worked my 55 centimeters width, I have worked a total of 23 rows. Okay, once I finish my last double crochet, I'm going to chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop, and tighten up. Now I'm going to go ahead off camera and I'm going to crochet a second triangle, which is going to be the same exact thing as I did over here. So I'm going to have again a total of 23 rows in my second triangle as well. So once I finish my second triangle, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how it looks and how to start the grind square. I've completed crocheting my 2 identical triangles, okay? And what we're going to do now, we're going to start with our grind square. Again, I'm going to start my grind square with my magic circle. If you do not know how to work the magic circle, you can chain 4 and slip stitch in the first chain to create a ring. And whatever I work in the center of my magic circle, you can crochet it in the center of your ring, okay? So I'm going to start by wrapping the yarn around my 2 fingers and bring it on the top left. Put your hook under the right yarn over the left one and bring it over. Turn your hook around once to create a loop. Take the left yarn and pull it through the loop. And this way I have created my magic circle and also have crocheted my first chain. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work 2 more chains. 1, 2, so I have 3 chains to begin with. I have my first double crochet. I'm going to work 2 more stitches in the center of my magic circle. So I have a total of 3 double crochet. I'm going to chain 2 to create the corner, 1, 2, and 3 more double crochet in the center of my magic circle. 1, 2, and 3. So I have my second set. I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2 to create my corner, and my third set of 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2 to create my corner, and I'm going to work my fourth and last set of 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to take the yarn that I started my circle with, okay, and I'm going to pull it tightly. And see how I've created a square. What's missing is my last corner over here. So in order to create the last corner, I'm going to work 2 chains, 1, 2, and I'm going to work a slip stitch in the first double crochet for this row, which is from counting from the bottom to the top. Put your hook in that third chain and work a slip stitch. Now, I want you to turn your piece clockwise. So you're turning on the left side, okay? This way your yarn is on the back. If you turn counterclockwise, the yarn is going to be on the front, and this is going to look wrong once you start the row. So you want to work clockwise, so turn your piece to your left, and the yarn is on the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work a slip stitch under the first chain 2 space. So I'm going to put my hook under the chain 2, and I'm going to work my slip stitch. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, which is my first double crochet, and I'm going to work 2 more stitches under the chain 2 space. 1, 2. So along with the 3 chains, I have my first set of 3 double crochet, and I just work half of the first corner. And always in every single row, the first corner is going to be made halfway, and we're going to be completing the first corner in the end of the row, okay? So I've created half of my corner. I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to go ahead under the next chain 2 space, and I'm going to keep working the corner. So I'm going to work 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet under the same chain 2 space. So 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet under the same space. 1, 2, and 3. So I've created my corner. I'm going to leave here by chaining 1, and I'm going to go ahead right in the next chain 2 space over here, and I'm going to crochet 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet, because I want to keep creating the corner. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet under the same space. 1, 2, 3. So again, I've created my corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet. I'm going to chain 1 and go ahead in the next chain 2 space over here to create my other corner as well. So 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more stitches under the same chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to chain 1, and right here I have halfway done the first corner, so I'm going to finish it in the end of the row. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hook in the first chain 2 space, and I'm going to work a set of 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, chain 2 to create the corner, and finish your row by working a slip stitch in the first double crochet for this row, which is the 3 chains. So counting from the bottom to the top, put your hook in that third chain and slip stitch. So this is how our square looks at the end of row number 2. See how nice and perfect it looks by finishing the row this way? So what we're going to do now is we're going to start row number 3. So I'm going to turn clockwise, so turn to your left, so the yarn is on the back. Okay, put your hook under the first chain 2 space over here and work a slip stitch. Now chain 3, 1, 2, 3, which is my first double crochet, and 2 more stitches under the same chain 2 space. 1, 2. So every single row is going to be starting in the same exact way. I'm always going to be starting my first corner and it's halfway done again, and I'm going to finish it off in the end of the row. So I've worked my 3 double crochet. I'm going to chain 1 and go ahead under the chain 1 space, work a set of 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1. Now, sorry for the noises, somebody's moving, I guess, furniture from the top apartment. Okay, so this is my halfway done corner. Now, every time in every row, in every chain 1 space that I create between each set of 3, I am always going to be working 3 double crochet. Now, before and after every set of 3, I need a chain 1 space. The only time that I work 2 chains is when I create the corner. Before the corner and after the corner again, I always work a chain 1, okay? So chain 1 before the 3 stitches, I've worked 1 chain after my 3 double crochet, and now I've reached my corner, where again I'm going to work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet in the same space. 1, 2, 3. So I've created my corner. Now chain 1, go ahead and work a set of 3 under the chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3. Chain 1 after the set of 3, and now again I've reached my corner, so work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, and 3 more stitches under the same space. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I've created my corner again. So chain 1, under the chain 1 space, work 3 double crochet, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1. Okay, and again I've reached my corner, so work 3 double crochet, chain 2, and 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochet, 1, 2, 3. So again I've completed my corner, and I'm going to chain 1, go ahead and work a set of 3 under the chain 1 space, 1, 2, and 3, chain 1, and it's time to finish the first corner. So put your hook in the first chain 2 space of this row and work your last 3 double crochet. 1, 2, and 3, and in order to create the corner, chain 2, 1, 2, put your hook in the first double crochet for this row, which is the third chain counting from the bottom, and work a slip stitch. So look how nice our square looks like. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna keep working off camera. Make sure you always turn your work clockwise so the yarn is on the back. You always are going to work your slip stitch in the first chain 2 space, chain 3, which is your first double crochet, and work 2 more stitches under the same chain 2 space, and chain 1 to continue. Okay, so I've created the first half of my row, of my first corner. Okay, now it's very important to remember that before and after every chain 3, every set of 3 double crochet, we always need a chain 1. The only time we work the 2 chains is when we work the corner, but before the corner I have a chain 1, and after the corner I have a chain 1 again. Before the set of 3 I have the chain 1, and after the set of 3 I have my chain 1 as well. So I've worked my first half of the corner, chain 1, 3 double crochet in the chain space, chain 1, 3 double crochet under the chain space, chain 1, and I've reached the corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet under the chain space, chain 1, 3 double crochet under the chain space, chain 1, and I've reached the corner. 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet under the chain space, chain 1, 3 double crochet under the chain space, chain 1, and we've reached the third corner. Again, 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet under the chain space, chain 1, 3 double crochet under the chain space, chain 1, and finish your first corner by working 3 more double crochet under the first chain 2 space, chain 2, and slip stitch in the first stitch of this row, which is the third chain counting from the bottom right over here. Okay, so you can see that in the first row I have 1 square, in the second row I have 2 squares in each side, in the third row I have 3 squares in each side, in the fourth row I'm going to have 4, in the fifth I'm going to have 5, 6, 7, and so on. Once I finish working my grind square, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to continue. I've completed crocheting my square, and see how nice and perfect it looks in the corners right here, because we start and finish the row in the way that I showed. Okay, now counting from the center, I have worked a total of 20 rows. Okay, and the total width of the square is 45 centimeters, which is twice my arm opening. In the beginning of the video I showed, I measured my arms, the opening of the arm, and it's about 22 to 23. So multiply that by 2 and I have 45, because this is going to be folded in half and it's going to be the sleeve. Now, if it's bigger than twice as your arm opening, it's okay, it's not wrong, but if it's smaller, you need to work a few more rows. Okay, if it's bigger, it's okay, it doesn't matter. Now, in order to finish and close your work, as I have worked my last 3 double crochet, chain 2, and slip stitch, I'm going to work a chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop, and tighten up. Now, what I want to show is how the square needs to be fitted on the triangle, and it's very important. You need to work the triangle as much as it's needed until you cover the whole side of the triangle. You need to crochet the square as much as you need in order to cover the side of the triangle. So see here how, let me fix it so it's visible. See how I have the whole side of my triangle? So when I place my granny square on the side of the triangle, it fits the whole side, and I have an extra row that's left over. See here in the end how it fits exactly, but I also have an extra row that's left over. We need to have a few extra rows, 1, 2, or 3 after our triangle. Okay, do not want it to be exactly, because it's going to be difficult to create the sleeves. So I want to keep crocheting my granny square up until I cover the whole side and I have a few extra rows left over. Now I'm going to go ahead off camera and crochet another granny square, which is going to be again of 20 rows. Okay, and when I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to assemble our top. I've completed crocheting my second granny square as well, and what we're going to do now is we're going to assemble our boho top. Okay, so what we want to do is I want to have the good side of the double crochet that I started the center over here. Okay, so this is the good side of the stitches, and this right here is the wrong side. See how the wrong side looks like? How they look kind of messy in the back. Okay, so this is the wrong side of the stitches, and this is the good side where they look nice and neat. Okay, so I want to have the wrong side facing up of the center. Okay, and now I'm going to grab one of my triangles, and I want to have the good side of the center as well. Okay, let's find the good side. So this is the good side of the stitches over here, and right over here I have the wrong side of the double crochet. See how they look kind of messy in the back? So this is the front side, the good side. So I want to have the wrong side facing up. Okay, and let's see real quick how we're going to set up the 4 pieces that we have, and then we're going to see step by step how to assemble it. Okay, so real quick, I have my triangle facing up. Okay, and I'm going to take one of my granny squares and I'm going to attach it on the one side. I'm going to take my second granny square and I'm going to attach it on the other side over here. Okay, and once I attach them on both sides over here, then I'm going to take my second triangle and I'm going to place it over here, and I'm going to fold in half my granny square, and I'm going to attach this side on the triangle that I just put on my top. Okay, and I'm going to fold the other granny square as well and attach it with the front triangle that I just put on here. And this is how we're going to assemble our boho top. So let's see now how we're going to do it. So I have the wrong side of the beginning over here facing up, and the wrong side of the center facing up over here as well. Okay, so let me zoom in so it's more clear what I'm doing. Okay, so now grab both pieces like this and pick them up. So what I want to do is I want to put my crochet hook, see right here in the corner in the chain 2 that I have, this is the top part center of my triangle. So I'm going to put my hook in the left chain, and back here I'm in the corner of my granny square. It doesn't matter which corner because they're all the same. So I'm going to put my hook in the left chain right here from the chain 2 space as well. Okay, now I'm going to take my yarn and I'm going to join. So grab the yarn and pull it through both stitches and chain 1. So now go ahead in the first double crochet in the front side, in the first double crochet in the back side, and work a slip stitch. Okay, now put your hook in the second stitch on the front side, the second stitch in the back side, and work a slip stitch. Put your hook in the third stitch on the front side, the third stitch in the back side, and work a slip stitch. Now put your hook in the fourth stitch on the front side and the fourth stitch in the back side, but because on the back side we were working the grand square, which is 3 double crochet and a chain 1, I'm going to put my hook in the chain space right here. Put your hook in the chain, not under, as we were doing so far when we were working the grand squares. I don't want to put my hook under the chain, I want to put it in it right here and work your slip stitch. Okay, so every fourth stitch in the back is going to be my chain. So let's go ahead and work one more set. The next stitch in the front, the next double crochet in the back, the next stitch in the front, next stitch in the back, next stitch in the front, next stitch in the back, next stitch in the front piece. Now in the back piece again, I'm in my chain 1 space. So put your hook in the chain and work your slip stitch. Okay, so keep working slip stitches up until the end, and once I reach right over here where I have my chain 1 in the end and my last double crochet on the triangle, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to close those 2 stitches to get how to close those 2 stitches in the end, okay, and how we're going to continue. I'm almost done crocheting the whole side. Okay, now I'm left with my chain 1 space and the last double crochet of the row. So put your hook in the chain 1 space, counting from the bottom to the top, it's the 4th stitch. Okay, the next stitch from the back part and slip stitch, and the last double crochet for the front part, which is the 3rd chain, counting from the bottom. Put your hook in that 3rd chain in the front, and the next double crochet in the back and work a slip stitch. See how I have this left over from the grand square? Okay, I'm going to leave it as it is. I need a few rows left over. Okay, they're going to help me with the sleeve. And now we're going to finish off by chaining 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop, and fasten off. Okay, so we've completed the one side. Now we're going to go ahead in the other side. I'm going to work the slip stitches in the same way and in the same direction as I was doing. So since this is the wrong side, let me open up a little bit over here. Okay, see how here I have now an outline by working the slip stitches. I want to make sure that I'm going to work the slip stitches on the same side, on the right side as well. So I have the outline of the slip stitches on the wrong side of my boho top as well. Okay, so I'm going to take the other square and I want to find the wrong side of the center. So the center is right over here, and these are the good side of the stitches. This is the wrong side of the stitches. See how they look kind of messy? Okay, so I'm going to put it on the right side of my triangle. I'm going to grab both pieces and I'm going to turn, so I'm working from the top to the bottom. So again, I'm going to put my hook in the left chain. Okay, so I'm putting my hook in the left chain of the front piece and the left chain of the triangle. So see, right here is the chain that I grabbed to join the other side. So I'm grabbing again the left chain, which is the leftover chain, right over here, and I'm going to work going downwards. Okay, so again I'm going to grab my yarn grab the yarn, pull it through the both stitches, chain 1, and start working slip stitches in the same way. So in this, on this side, I have on the front piece, I have my grind square. So I'm going to be grabbing 1, 2, 3 double crochet, the chain in the front, and the 4th stitch in the back. Again, 1, 2, 3 double crochet, the chain in the front, and the 4th stitch in the back. We always, when we work in the chain, we always want to put our hook inside the chain and not under it, okay? This way it joins nicer. So once I finish working the whole side up until the end, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to join the other triangle as well. I've completed crocheting from the top to the bottom, and if you have crocheted correctly, you will have the same rows left over from the grind square as you did on the other side as well. So once you finish your last slip stitch, chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop, and fasten off. Okay, so this is what we have so far. We have crocheted on both sides on the back part of our boho top, okay? And right here, this is the inside, the wrong side of our shirt, of our top, and I can see the outline of the slip stitches that I've made. Now I want to turn my boho top on the other side, so I'm seeing the good side of the stitches over here on the side, okay? I am going to fold in half both grind squares on the one side and on the other side as well. Okay. I'm going to put my other triangle on here. I want to face the wrong side of the beginning stitches over here. Okay. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab over here as I did on the other side, and I'm going to start working slip stitches from the left chain on the front side, the left chain on the back side, 1 slip stitch in every stitch, grabbing both pieces front and back, and in the end I will have the same leftover stitches on my grind square, okay? Finish the one side, and then we're going to go ahead on the other side and we're going to grab it. I'm going to turn because we always want to slip stitch from the top to the bottom, and we're going to grab the left chain on the front side, the left chain, the one that's left over on the back side on the triangle, okay? Work 1 slip stitch in every stitch, and again you will have the same leftover rows of the grind square as you did on all other sides. Once I finish working the slip stitches on the left and on the right, I'm going to turn my video back on to see what we're going to do with the leftover rows of the grind square. And then if you want, I'm going to work a few rows extra on the bottom over here because I'm a little chubby, so I don't want the boho top to be a crop top, okay? I want it to be kind of longer. So when I turn my video back on, we're going to see how to work a row on the V opening up here of the top, and then how to work a few rows in the bottom of our top, okay? So let's finish working the slip stitches on both sides, and then we're going to continue. Now that we've completed crocheting and joining all 4 pieces together, we have left those extra rows of the grind square, okay? And now we're going to see how we're going to use them. Sorry, I didn't have time to weave in my end, so my work looks kind of messy. So let's now go ahead and see how to join. What I want to do is I want to close from here to here together, the 2 pieces, and I'm creating a sleeve. And then I'm going to go ahead and work around my sleeve over here, okay? So I'm going to turn because I want to be working from the top to the bottom. I'm going to join the yarn. Let me zoom in now so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my crochet hook. I'm left with 2 granny squares over here with 2 sets of 3. I'm going to put my hook in the first double crochet on the front side and on the first double crochet on the back side. I'm going to take my yarn, grab it, pull it through both stitches and chain 1. Now put your hook in the second stitch in the front and in the second stitch in the back and work your slip stitch. Now put your hook in the third stitch in the front, in the third stitch in the back and work your slip stitch. Now we're in the chain 1 space. Put your hook in the chain in the front part and in the chain in the back part and work your slip stitch. Now again, put your hook in the first double crochet in the front, the first double crochet in the back and slip stitch. Second stitch in the front, second stitch in the back and work your slip stitch. Now third stitch in the front, third stitch in the back, which is the chain 3 from the bottom to the top. Put your hook in that third chain and work your slip stitch. And the last stitch that we're going to join is the right chain from the chain 2 that we worked in the corners. So put your hook in that right chain over here on the front and on the right chain that's on the back. This one right over here. And work your slip stitch. Chain 1. Okay, so no, don't chain 1. I've joined over here, okay, with slip stitches. Now I'm going to turn my work so I have the sleeve on the top over here. I am going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, which counts as 1 double crochet, and I'm going to turn my work. Okay. What I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be crocheting on top of the stitches, on top of the double crochet of the sleeve, and in the same time I'm going to be working some decreases so the sleeve gets smaller. Now, if you do not want to crochet on the sleeve, you can leave it as it is. It still looks nice, okay? You can leave it as wide as it is right now, and it's going to look nice. What I want to do is I want to work a few decreases so my sleeve gets a little smaller, and then I'm going to work a few rows of the rib stitch. So let's start. I've worked 3 chains. Now I'm going to put my hook in the first double crochet and I'm going to work a double crochet. Now the second and third I'm going to crochet together to form a decrease. So put your hook in the second stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2, yarn over once, put your hook in the third stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2, and I've worked 2 halfway done double crochet and 3 loops on my hook, which I'm going to crochet together. Okay, now 1 double crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet in the first out of the 3, and again the second and third stitches I'm going to work together. So put your hook in the second stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2, yarn over once, put your hook in the third stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Again, I've worked 2 stitches in the second and third stitch. I have 3 loops on my hook, grab the yarn, pull through all of the 3 loops. Okay, now again, we're going to work 1 more set together and then we're going to continue off camera. 1 double crochet on top of the chain 1 space, 1 double crochet in the first stitch, Now again, the second and third are going to be worked together. So put your hook in the second stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2, yarn over once, put your hook in the second stitch, grab the yarn, pull through 2. Okay, I've worked in 2 stitches, 3 loops on my hook, grab the yarn, close all of them 3 loops together. So continue working all around. Once I reach the end, I'm going to turn my video back on. I've completed crocheting all around. The last 2 stitches were a decrease because they're the second and third stitches from my set of 3. Okay, now put your hook in the first double crochet that you worked for this row, which is the chain 3. So counting from the bottom to the top, put your hook in that third chain and work a slip stitch. Okay, now we're going to chain 2. Do not turn your work. We're going to keep working around. Okay, and we're going to be working front posts and back posts. The first stitch, I'm going to work a front post double crochet. So I'm going to put my hook from the front to the back on the right side, to the front again on the left side of the stitch. I'm pulling outwards, and I'm going to work a double crochet. The next stitch is going to be a back post double crochet, and it's my decrease. Now when we work a decrease, the 2 stitches that we work together, they count as 1. So what I want to do is I want to work a back post, but I want to grab both stitches over here. Okay, so I'm going to put my hook from the back to the front on the right side, and to the back again on the left side of the stitches. I grabbed both stitches over here, and I'm going to work a double crochet. The next stitch is going to be a front post. So I'm going to put my hook from the front to the back on the right side, to the front again on the left side of the stitch, and I'm going to work a double crochet. The next stitch is going to be a back post. So I'm going to put my hook from the back to the front on the right side, to the back again on the left side, so I'm pulling backwards, and I'm going to work a double crochet. The next stitch again is my decrease, the 2 stitches that I worked together. So I want to grab both stitches and I want to pull outwards because I'm going to be working a front post now. So I'm going to put my hook from the front to the back on the right side, to the front again on the left side, grabbing both stitches, and I'm going to work a double crochet. So keep working 1 front post, 1 back post, 1 front post, 1 back post, up until the end. Once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on. I've completed crocheting all around. In my last stitch right over here on my decrease, I worked a front post. Now depending on how many rows that you worked on your granny square, the last stitch might be a back post, so that's not going to be wrong. Okay, so I've worked all around. Now I'm going to work a slip stitch in the second chain, counting from the bottom to the top out of the 2 that I worked in the beginning of the row. So slip stitch again, chain 2, and I'm going to start a row again with my front posts and back posts. Now I want to keep the same direction of the stitches. So the first stitch was a front post, so in this row I'm going to work a front post again. The next stitch was a back post, but it's not too visible, so open the stitch up with your fingers. Okay, now put your hook from the back to the front on the right side, to the back again on the left side, and work your double crochet. The next stitch is a front post, so again in this row we're going to work a front post double crochet. The next stitch was a back post, again it's not visible, so we're going to put our hook from the back to the front on the right side, to the back again on the left side, and work your double crochet. So keep working your front posts and your back posts up until you complete the row. And since my last stitch was a front post, the last stitch of this row is going to be a front post as well. I have completed crocheting all around, and now again I'm going to work a slip stitch in the second chain, counting from the bottom. Again I'm going to chain 2 to work 1 last row of the rib stitch. So again, the first stitch is a front post, so I'm going to work a front post. Second stitch is a back post, so I'm going to work a back post. Next stitch is a front post, so I'm going to work a front post. And keep working 1 front post, 1 back post up until you complete the whole row. I've completed working all around. Now I'm going to work a slip stitch in the second chain, counting from the bottom. Okay, chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop and fasten off. And this is how our sleeve looks like. Okay, now as I mentioned earlier, you can leave it plain without working the rib stitch, or you can go ahead and work a few more rows of the rib stitch for the sleeve to get narrower. Now I don't want my sleeve to be very narrow on my hand, okay, on my arm. It's going to be kind of loose. It's going to have a loose fit, so go ahead and work the other sleeve off camera, and when I finish I'm going to turn my video back on to see how our top looks at this point and how we're going to continue. I have completed crocheting my top, and this is the good side of it. Okay, the wrong side is the one with the slip stitches, the side where you can see the slip stitches. Okay, so this is how it looks like, and this is how our sleeves look like on the one side, on the other side, and this is the bottom of our top, okay, of our shirt. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna work one row of single crochet all around up here, so we have a nice end result. So let me zoom in so you can see how I'm going to crochet. Okay, so I'm taking my yarn and I'm going to attach it right here in the center where I was working the 2 chains on my triangle. Okay, so put your hook under the chain 2, chain 1, and work 1 single crochet under the same chain space. Now go right ahead on your left and work 1 single crochet on the chain that you have crocheted into, 1 single crochet in the chain that you haven't crocheted anything in here, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, and 3, 1 single crochet in the chain 1 space, 1 single crochet in each of the 3 double crochet, 1 single crochet in the chain 1. Okay, go all around, and right here in the back, once you reach down here, okay, you're gonna work 1 single crochet in the 3 double crochet, 1 single crochet in the chain 1 that you haven't crocheted anything, 1 single crochet in the chain 1 that you worked the slip stitch when you joined the triangle to the grand square, 1 single crochet under the chain 2 space of the triangle, 1 single crochet in the chain that you worked the slip stitch when you joined, 1 single crochet in the chain that you haven't crocheted anything, and now again 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 double crochet, 1 single crochet in the chain 1 space, and once you come back here in the front, you're going to finish off by crocheting 1 single crochet in the last 3 double crochet, 1 single crochet in the chain 1 that you haven't crocheted anything in here, 1 single crochet in the chain 1 that you worked the slip stitch when you joined the 2 pieces, and we're going to finish together by working a slip stitch in the first single crochet of the row. I've completed working my single crochet all around, and this is how it looks like, how nicely it ends up the opening of the top. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put my hook in the first single crochet that I worked in this row. I'm going to work a slip stitch, chain 1, cut the yarn, and fasten off. Okay, so let me open up so you can see how it looks like. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the fit of this top is like a poncho, so you do not want to work any more rows to close it up. But if you do want to close it up to have a closer V opening over here, you can go ahead and work extra rows of the single crochet. Now, at this point, The top is completed, and this is how it looks like from the one side, the other side, and the bottom. But because it fits up to the belly button, and this is how this top works, okay? Once you finish the 2 triangles and you join all the pieces together, it fits up to the belly button. So it's like a crop top. So what I want to do, because I'm a little overweight, I want to work a few extra rows under here on the bottom part of my top, so I can make it longer, so it's better for me to wear. If you want to leave it as it is, the top is done, it's completed at this point. But if you're a little overweight, as I am, let's go ahead and work a few extra rows in the bottom of our top over here. And because I completed working the single crochet on this side, I'm going to make it the back side of my top, and I'm going to join the yarn on this side as well. So go ahead and turn it around. Okay, let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to join right over here in the center of my magic circle. Grab the yarn, pull it through the stitch, and chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to work a total of 2 stitches on top of every double crochet. Okay, in order to cover the space of every double crochet of every stitch, I need to work 2 double crochet on top of each one. So what I want to do is, when I am on the chain 3 on the double crochet that consists of the chain 3, I want to put my hook in the center chain and work 1 double crochet, and 1 double crochet on the chain that when we were finishing every row, we were putting our hook in that chain to work the last double crochet. Okay, so this was my second double crochet on top of that stitch. Now in the next row, on the next double crochet, I want to work 1 stitch in the bottom of the stitch and 1 stitch on the top of the double crochet over here. The next double crochet is the one that consists of the 3 chains. So put your hook in the center chain, and the second double crochet is the 3rd chain that we were counting from the bottom to the top, the stitch where I have crocheted the last double crochet of the row, right in here. The next stitch is a double crochet, so put your hook in the bottom of the stitch and work a double crochet. Okay, and then on the top of the double crochet, work the second stitch. So keep working to double crochet on top of each double crochet. Once I reach over here where I have joined the sleeves, over here, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to work on this spot over here, and then we're going to continue the row off camera. I've completed working my double crochet for this side, and I've reached the sleeve. Okay, I'm at this point over here. Where I have my sleeve. This is where I joined, and this is the right piece and the left piece. Now, I want to work 2 double crochet on the chain 3 that's right before the join. Okay, so put your hook again in the center chain and work a double crochet. In the chain right here in the end, work 1 more double crochet. put your hook right where you joined, right over here in the center. Okay, the hook is going to fit kind of hard, and work 1 double crochet. Now we're going on the other side. And now when we're going on the other side, the stitches are going to be worked in the opposite way. What I mean is, now when I work on top of the double crochet, the 2 stitches, I'm going to work 1 double crochet in the top of the stitch first, then 1 double crochet in the bottom of the double crochet right over here. Then when I work on the chain 3, the first chain that I'm going to work into is this one, which is the 3rd chain counting from the bottom to the top, which is the stitch that I have worked the last double crochet of the row. Right over here is that chain. Next, I'm going to work 1 double crochet in the chain that's right after that one, which is the 2nd out of the 3 chains. Okay. And work your 2nd double crochet. Now, again, when we want to work the 2 double crochet on the double crochet, the first stitch is right here, the top of the stitch. The 2nd stitch is right here, the bottom of the stitch. And right after you work in the bottom of the stitch, the next stitch that you're going to work, or 2 double crochet, is the chain 3. So the first chain that you're going to work into is this one, which is the 3rd chain counting from the bottom to the top. It's the stitch that I have worked the last double crochet of the row into. Then 1 double crochet in the chain after that, the 2nd chain right over here. Then again, we want to work the 2 double crochet on top of the double crochet. 1 stitch in the beginning of the stitch, 1 stitch in the end of the double crochet. Okay, this is my 2nd stitch, and the first stitch for the chain 3 is right over here where I have worked the last double crochet of every row. Okay, the 2nd stitch for that is this one right here, the 2nd chain, and keep working the whole side in the same exact way. Okay, again, once you reach over here in the sleeve, you're going to work 2 double crochet on the stitch over here, 1 double crochet on the join, 2 double crochet on the double crochet that's on the left side, and keep working up until you reach right over here in the front. Okay, when you're going to work your last 2 double crochet on the stitch over here. Once I work my last 2 double crochet on the double crochet that's on the magic circle, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to close the first row of the bottom part over here and how to start the 2nd one. I've completed working all around. Okay, now I'm going to work a slip stitch in the first double crochet that I worked for this row, and my first stitch is the chain 3. So count from the bottom to the top and put your hook in that 3rd chain. Work a slip stitch. Now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to turn my work. In every row we're going to be turning our work because we want to have a straight scheme right over here. If we keep going in circles without turning, our scheme is going to get diagonal and it's not going to look nice. So chain 3, turn your work, and this is the first double crochet that I'm going to work into. Okay, next stitch, work 1 double crochet and keep working 1 double crochet all around on top of every double crochet that we worked in the previous row. Okay, so 1 stitch in every stitch. Once I reach right here in the end, right over here where I'm going to work my last double crochet, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to finish this row as well. Also, I'm going to show how to attach a new color, because this is what I have left from the yarn that I have and I didn't find this color anywhere. So I'm going to show how to attach a new color. Okay, so keep working one stitch in every stitch, and once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on. I'm almost done crocheting my row, and we're going to finish the last stitch together so we can see how to join a new color. So this is my last double crochet in which I'm going to work my last stitch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the yarn, pull it through the first 2 loops. Now if I take the yarn and pull it through the last 2, I'm going to form my double crochet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my new color and I'm going to finish the double crochet with a new color. So take the new color and take it through the last 2 loops. So this looks like as if I have completed the stitch with the same color. Okay, so I just joined the new color. Put your hook in the first double crochet, which is the 3rd chain counting from the bottom to the top, and work your slip stitch. Okay, now we're going to start our new row. So chain 3, 1, 2, oops, 3. Okay, you're going to turn your work and keep working 1 double crochet in every stitch. So look how nice and neat the join of the color looks like. Okay, so it's very important to always chain 3 in the beginning of every row, and it's very important to turn your work. This way you have a straight scheme throughout your project. Okay, so once I finish, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how our top looks completed. I have completed crocheting my top. Okay, and after the join of the yarn that we did to work to make it longer, I have worked a total of 17 rows of double crochet. Okay, and it reaches around my lower back now. So what we're going to do now is, because we were working double crochet the whole part, and what I want to mention is that I did not use the colorful yarn when I joined the new color because I didn't like the results. So I tried to find a yarn that's similar to the color that I was using, because this color does not come out anymore. So I try to find something that's pretty close to it. Okay, so what we want to do when we finish working the rows of double crochet that we want to work a last row of single crochet. This way I make sure that after I wear and wash my shirt, my top a few times, I want to make sure it does not get loose the end stitches over here. So we do want to work a last row of single crochet. Now if you worked your last row of double crochet and you are on the outside of your shirt, of your top, this means that you're on your good side. If you finished working your double crochet and you were working on the inside, on the wrong side of your top, you want to turn your work to work your single crochet on the good side. So I have worked my slip stitch, chain 1, and starting from the first double crochet, right over here, I'm going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch all around. Okay, single crochet, next stitch, single crochet, next stitch, single crochet. I want to make sure that I'm not crocheting my single crochet tightly, because it's going to take away the stretch of our top. Okay, and it's not going to fit correctly, and it's going to seem in the end as you have shrinked your top. So you want to make sure that you crochet your single crochet with a kind of loose strength. Okay, so keep working 1 single crochet, oops, 1 single crochet all around up until you reach your double crochet over here, the last stitch. Once I work my single crochet in my last stitch, I'm going to turn my video back on to see how to close the row and how our top looks completed. I've completed working my single crochet all around. Now put your hook in the first stitch for this row and work a slip stitch, chain 1, cut the yarn, pull the loop, and fasten off. Okay, and our top is ready. Here we go. Thanks for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, share, and write a comment under the video. Thanks again. Bye bye.